Hey, Brook Scholars, welcome back to Remote Learning with me, Mr. Scott. Happy Wednesday. So, yesterday, as you may recall, we read a nonfiction. As we were reading that nonfiction text, we used annotations. And annotations are little notes that you can write down that help you to remember what you've learned from the entire section of a nonfiction text. We were thinking about all of the things that we learned, and we were especially using the heading to help us organize our thoughts. So it ended up looking a little bit like this. There we go. So we have the title, we've got name and date, we've got the introduction, and then we had four sections there. And these notes were really helpful in getting us to really organize our thoughts and think about the information that we were supposed to learn from the text. Well, today we're gonna, excuse me, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the same thing. Hiccups. We've all had the hiccups. And usually for me, hiccups start, and I think, oh, how cute and silly. I have the hiccups again. Oh, what a silly thing that my body does. And then I tried to get rid of the hiccups, and that seems to take a very, very long time. And then by the end, I'm really sick and tired of having the hiccups. Well, don't worry, because today's article is going to help you deal with the hiccups. Let's start by grabbing a paper and a piece of, a pencil and a piece of paper. Okay? If you don't have one, go get one right now. Go on, off you go. I'll wait. Okay, ready? Good. Let's start as we always do. Name at the top on the left. Mr. Scott, that's my name. Don't write down my name, write down your name. On the other side, we need to put today's date, which is 4/15/20. Again, we've got kind of a long title, so make sure that you're starting closer to your name on the left-hand side. The title of this nonfiction article is A Sweet Way to Stop Hiccups. HICCUPS. Go ahead and underline it. It should end up looking a little something like that. And we're ready to begin. Now, in this article, just as we did yesterday, we get an introduction. That is the first paragraph in a new nonfiction article, and it does not have a heading. It is simply giving us some background information that we're going to need to know in order to better understand the text. Introduction, capital INTRODUCTION says shun in introduction. Just like that. Okay, let's read this paragraph and then we'll stop and think about what we have learned. A sweet way to stop hiccups. Yeah, as soon as I get the hiccups, the first thing I start thinking about is how I can make them stop. Have you ever hiccuped in a quiet room full of people? Or have you ever hiccuped so hard that you had to stop what you were doing? If you ever made the familiar hic sound of hiccups, you are not alone. Hiccups are a problem that almost everyone has experienced. Now, when we're writing this sentence for our annotation, we can think about what is the main topic, we can think about what's happening, and then the reason why. In this case, you guessed it, the main topic of this article is all about hiccups. So let's use that to begin our sentence. That will be the subject of our sentence today. Hiccups. Well, what are they? Hiccups are, well, it says in the text that they are a problem. Yeah. Hiccups are a problem. And what makes them a problem? Well, the hiccups are a problem because there's something that you have to get rid of, right? Are a problem because BECAUSE. Now, what's that problem? The problem is that it's difficult, it's tricky, it's complicated. You can't just do one thing and the hiccups will magically go away. Oftentimes, I need to try lots and lots of different strategies, and sometimes they work and then sometimes they don't. So hiccups are a problem because it's hard to make them go away. It's hard to make them go away. Let me show you how mine's looking here. Again, I'm making sure that it's all on the screen there. Hiccups are a problem because it's hard to make them go away. Now, if you need to stop this video, pause it right now, smash the pause button so that you can copy down this work. All right, ready to go? All right. Next section is what is a hiccup? There is the heading. We know that we're heading into a brand new section. I'm going to go ahead, grab my pencil, and copy down that heading onto my page. What is a hiccup? Hiccups don't usually, the word hiccup doesn't usually get a capital letter, but we've seen it here in the title, and of course the words in the title do get capital letters. Here in the section heading, yes, that's another text feature in which you would capitalize the first letter of the words. And then here you see another capital H, and that is because it's the first word in the sentence. But really, if you look everywhere else, you'll see, look right here, the sound of hiccups, it doesn't get a capital H, okay? All right, this is not Hiccup Day, or Mr. and Mrs. Hiccup, or the month of Hiccup, or the village of Hiccup, or the company Hiccup. You get the idea. Okay, what is a hiccup? It is time for us to read this section, and then we can think about a sentence that would be really good in helping us think about all that we've learned. We'll do an annotation after this. What is a hiccup? Hiccups start in your diaphragm. The diaphragm is a muscle between your chest and your abdomen. When the diaphragm suddenly tightens, air strikes the vocal cords. This creates a single hiccup with its hic sound. For most people, a case of hiccups will stop after a few minutes. I've got a nice diagram here, okay? So we've got the lungs, okay? That's where we breathe the air in. The diaphragm, here it is. They keep talking about this diaphragm. And it's this thing sort of like here in the middle of your body, okay? The trachea is that big tube in your neck there. Then you've got the mouth, the nose, and vocal cords, and it has something to do with the breath on the vocal cords, getting that hic sound. Let's see. People get hiccups for a variety of reasons. Hiccups might result from eating or drinking too much or too quickly. A sudden change in the stomach's temperature, such as from drinking hot liquid immediately after cold liquid, may also cause hiccups. They may even occur from being excited or being under a lot of stress. Now, as you can see, we've made our way down to the end of this second section. What is a hiccup? Wow, there was a lot of scientific information in there, right? I mean, this diagram was quite helpful in showing us the different parts of the body, but there are lots of different reasons as to why this would happen. When the diaphragm suddenly tightens, air strikes the vocal cords, and it creates a single hiccup. Okay, let's stop and think about this. What is a hiccup? How can I possibly explain this? Well, one of the most important things that I picked up on was the fact that you can get hiccups for lots of different reasons, right? It said eating too fast, eating too quickly or too much, having hot and then cold beverages, or being really, really happy, you get the hiccups, or being really, really stressed out and worried, you get the hiccups. You can get the hiccups for just about any reason whatsoever. So, again, I'm going to start my sentence with the subject, with the main topic of this article. You guessed it, hiccups. Does get a capital H this time around. Now, what can we say about this? Hiccups. Well, we have to say something about they happen for lots of different reasons, and we need to include something about the body. So, hiccups happen for lots of reasons. And make your body say hic. Actually, you know what? I really liked right here. I've got it highlighted, the quotation marks around the hic. Now I'm going to put noise because I don't want to copy down the word sound, but it means the same thing. This is what I have written. This is the annotation that I've taken, my friends. It says, hiccups happen for lots of reasons and make your body say hic noise. Say the hic noise. Oh, well spotted. Need to go back and put the word the in there. Thank goodness I looked over my writing to make sure that it made sense. Now, I know that doesn't get into the diaphragm. It doesn't talk about the abdomen or the chest or the vocal cord. I know that I haven't included those scientific terms in there. But really, we've got lots of different things can happen in life that will cause you to make the hiccup sound. And that really is answering this question in the heading, what is a hiccup? Good. Done with that. Making hiccups go away. Now, for me, I already know what hiccups were. So for those first two sections, I didn't really learn a whole lot of information. But now, as we start getting into how to make them go away, now I'm really interested on taking on some new information. I'm going to start by writing my section heading on the page, making hiccups go away. Go away, hiccups, go away today. Okay, here we go. Next heading there. Let's see what it says. I want to make these things go away. How do you do it? Ideas on how to stop hiccups have been created, shared, and tried for years. However, what works for one person to cure hiccups may not work for everyone. Perhaps the most common method people use is to hold their breath for a few seconds. Have you heard of that strategy? Me too. If this doesn't work, you could try swallowing hard while briefly holding your breath. There are also some strange sounding ways to cure hiccups, like drinking a glass of water upside down. Someone might even try to scare away your hiccups. Some people believe that getting startled causes you to focus on something other than your hiccups, which may relax the muscles in your throat and cure your hiccups. Goodness. There's lots of different strategies out there, right? Ideas for curing hiccups often include ingredients found in the kitchen. Some homemade recipes combine water with sweet and sour ingredients. They may include salt water or pickle juice. Many people believe that eating a spoonful of sugar can make hiccups go away. So, the next time you have the hiccups, try looking in your kitchen for something that will help get rid of them. Wow. Okay. Well, in this first section, this was all about the very many different ways to cure the hiccups. There's more than one way. And then in the second section, they go on to recommend that you use certain things from your kitchen to try and help it go away. So, we're back to our annotations, a sentence that can help us to understand and make sense of all the information here. Well, first of all, we can say there are lots of ways to cure hiccups. There, capital T, I know that I'm starting with a word that is not hiccups for this one. That's okay. There are lots of ways to cure hiccups. And some include ingredients from the kitchen. Yeah, that was a slightly longer one there, but I think that's pretty good. There are lots of ways to cure hiccups, and some include ingredients from the kitchen. Alrighty. Award-winning recipe. Okay, let's see what's happening here. But just before we do that, I'm going to get my next heading down on the page. Award-winning strategy. Oh, I said strategy. The word is recipe. Oh dear. Anyway, strategy quickly becomes recipe. Now, if you are award winning for something, you've created something that is new, that excites people, that maybe even solves a problem. And a recipe, of course, is like when you are cooking, baking, you're in the kitchen creating something to eat. So let's see what this award winning recipe really is. In 2010, a young girl named Mallory Kievman couldn't make her irritating hiccups go away. I feel you, Mallory. None of the ideas that she researched worked for her every time, so she decided to find her own cure for hiccups. Wow. She knew that sweet and sour ingredients were commonly used to cure hiccups, and she knew that swallowing hard can also be effective. She decided to use the two ideas to make a special lollipop. She thought that the sweet and sour ingredients combined with sucking on a lollipop would cure her hiccups. She experimented with different recipes in her family's kitchen. After many failed attempts, Mallory invented a lollipop that worked by combining water, sugar, and apple cider vinegar. She named her invention Hiccupops. Mallory wanted to find out whether her lollipops would help others cure their hiccups. She gave her lollipops to friends and family members. Mallory found that most of them were cured of their hiccups after sucking on the lollipop. Mallory entered her lollipop in a competition for new inventions made by children. She won 3 awards for her creative idea, and a patent was filed for her product as part of her winnings. Now, did you spot that little footnote there, that little number 1? Now, you remember what that means? Yeah, it means that patent is an important word that the author has got to use. But the author also recognizes that we might not know what a patent is. And so, kind of like using a dictionary, they put a little number 1 there, and we have to go somewhere on the page to figure out the meaning of the word patent. You remember where we go to find the footnote? Yeah, the bottom of the page. There it is. Look, number 1. The number 1 corresponds to the number 1 that comes at the end of the word patent. What is a patent? A patent is a right given to an inventor to make, use, or sell his or her invention. I've heard a little bit about patents. You create something and you think it's going to be really popular and maybe really helpful, but also that you can sell it and you can make money off of it. But then you don't want anyone else to steal your idea and take credit for it or make money from it. So you have to have a patent. And that patent says, I have made this thing. And it gets put on a very serious piece of paper. Well, probably not anymore. It probably just goes up online. And then the government will say, okay, yes, you are the person that created this thing, and only you can profit from it, make money. Okay, so let's see. So she won the competition for new inventions, and she won 3 awards, and she got a patent that was filed, which meant that she was the only person that could make Hiccupops. Perhaps one day you will see Mallory's invention in a store near you. Hiccupops were created by Mallory Kievman. Very good. Okay, so a lot of information here. Now, what was this section all about? It wasn't really just about hiccups. Hiccups were an important part of it, sure, because we know that this is the main topic of the article. But really, it was about an important person. It was about Mallory Kievman. Now, I'm going to make sure that I copy down her name correctly. I'm going to highlight that area there. This is going to be the subject of our next sentence. Make sure that you're doing a capital M for Mallory and a capital K for Kievman. All right, so what did she do? Why do we know this person's name? Well, what did they do that was so special? Well, Mallory Kievman, she actually invented is a great word. Let's use that verb to begin our predicate. Mallory Kievman invented, well, what did she invent? Yeah, a lollipop to cure hiccups called now this is the name of the product, Hiccupop, so it will get a capital H, friends, okay? So it's Hiccupops. All right, so here we are. Final sentence there. Mallory Kievman invented a lollipop to cure hiccups called a Hiccupop. If you need to pause the video again and write that down on your page, you absolutely may. Wow. Look at all of that hard work, my friends. Now it's easy when we're ready to go back and review everything that we've learned. We've got these wonderful notes on the page. In the introduction, hiccups are a problem because it's hard to make them go away. They can happen for lots of different reasons, too. That's what we learned in the next section. Hiccups happen for lots of reasons and make your body say the hic noise. And we learned there that just about anything, food, laughter, excitement, worrisomeness, really? When you're stressed, that can cause hiccups as well. Oh my goodness gracious. So making hiccups go away. This was kind of a new, part of this. It said there are lots of ways to cure hiccups, and some include ingredients from the kitchen. Now that went nicely into the next section where Mallory Kievman invented a lollipop to cure hiccups called a Hiccupop. And she knew that that was going to be an important part of coming up with our Hiccupop because she knew that sweet and sour things often help to get rid of the hiccups. Okay, friends. So now you've got this wonderful page. You can either begin answering the multiple choice and short answer questions here, or you can flip over to the back and do that work on this side and at the bottom of the page. As always, I cannot wait to see all of the wonderful work that you're going to upload on Seesaw today. Think very carefully about the answers to those multiple choice questions. Make sure you answer the short answer questions as well. I will see you back here tomorrow, my friends, from Mr. Scott, the Ultimate Champion. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.